It's a popular opinion nowadays that spanking is warping children's ideas of a healthy relationship and hurting their mental health. But I'm here to argue that spanking can be an effective way of discipline for a child. I would like to first say that spanking does not mean beating, and I think that the perception of it has been swayed nowadays, but at its core, it's just a punishment and can be used in a healthy way. Spanking is effective because it teaches children the difference between right and wrong, while still instilling a sense of respect for the parent and the child. And respect is the most important thing in a relationship between a parent and a child, because without respect, there is no relationship. It's been argued that spanking hurts the bond between a parent and their child. Really, it's up to the parent whether or not they let disciplining their child hurt the relationship between them. It shouldn't hurt the relationship. It should merely teach the child respect for their parents. Like I've said before, the parents are the disciplinarian and they are to be treated as one by the child. People often bring up the point that feeling love towards those who hurt us is unnatural and unhealthy. And this is true for an abusive relationship, not the relationship between a parent and a child. Because spanking isn't abuse, it is discipline. And in order for children to not get the wrong idea of a healthy relationship, they must know that they are being punished whenever they are being spanked and why they are being punished. And this is up to the parent to let their child know these things. My last point would be that it's common belief that spanking produces good and bad behavior based on fear. Good behavior based on fear. And I don't completely disagree with this, but rather believe that fear goes hand in hand with respect. Most people would agree that they have a level of fear towards those that they respect the most, whether that be a boss or a school principal or a parent. You have to have that sense of fear towards those that you respect the most because they are above you. They have control over you just like a parent has control over a child. And the meter of good and bad behavior is as much based on fear as it is based on morals. The two biggest things that help somebody make a decision, I would say, would be their beliefs and the consequences. And this is why punishments are generally unpleasant. In the real world, when you do something bad, the consequences are equally as bad, if not worse. For example, if you rob a home in Kentucky, you serve jail time for 10 to 20 years. And isn't that the parents' job to teach their children how to survive in the real world? In closing, I would like to speak on some solutions for using spanking as a discipline without negatively affecting a child. This would be giving children an explanation for why they are being punished, and knowing that spanking is not always the necessary punishment for bad behavior. It's very situational. Going hand in hand with that, and possibly most important, would be knowing the line between disciplining a child and harming them. And of course, do what works for you and your child. Everybody parents differently, and what works for one parent may not work for another. What's most important is having a healthy relationship between the parent and the child and a loving relationship between a parent and a child.